This is Booze at 10 with Graham Whistler.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Booze at 10. I'm Graham Whistler. On tonight's show, we'll be probably talking about the election and things like that, but mostly this will be a bit of a topical show and a drink where a panel of comedians largely disregard the news and get drunk instead. However, much like the news, we do still have the bongs. Seriously, I wasn't lying. We're going to do it every week. I'm going to take this down because I genuinely can't see. Also, tonight and for next show, coincidentally, we will be raising money for the Poppy Appeal. So if you would like to support the show and donate, there is a QR code there set at £5 if you want to donate. And also, there's the paypal.me link / Graham Whistler Comedy. As always, we'll be having a little chat with our esteemed producer. The Lean work makes the stream work. Mr. Alex Leam is here. Hello, Alex. Good evening. How are you? Oh,
I'm
it.
fine, thanks. This is the happiest I've looked in years. It really is. I'll take that off now. I'll take that off.
So, normally you would pop up and you'd sort of talk about the trigger words for the drinking game of the show. I've actually come up with a little game myself. I'll get into that when the guests come on.
Yes.
The other one, obviously, will be, I think, an obvious one. Will be Lockdown 2. Isn't it?
Yes.
I think if anyone mentions Lockdown 2, that deserves take a swig.
Take a swig.
Anyone that hasn't seen the show, it will look like that. So if anyone says Lockdown 2 during the show, that'll pop up. Alex, you'll be popping up occasionally with some audience comments as usual. Anyone commented already? Anyone saying hello?
No, there's people viewing, but nobody talking. Talk.
Say
hello.
Yeah,
go give it a go. It's easy.
Also, if you'd like to ponder the panel any questions, or if you'd like to offer your own opinion to some of the questions we'll be covering tonight, please feel free to do so. But thank you very much, Alex, for now. That'll do. We'll get some guests on, and I'll check back in with you later. Oh, you've gone pretty quick. Please welcome Greg Phillips, Aidan McCaffrey, and Michael Monkhouse. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi there. You all right?
Good. Yes. I just want to point out very quickly, just a bit of a clanger for the show. Michael Monkhouse is coming to us live all the way from Rome in Italy. Yeah. I almost wanted to do I should have kept the other two out for a bit and just done the whole news thing.
It always makes me laugh when I do Zoom shows like in England and they say all the way from Italy. I'm like, this is in Zoom. I could be in the next room for all the effort I've made. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's nothing Romy about the background. You could be in Slough for all I know.
Or in prison, actually. Yeah.
It does look a little bit sellish.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that self-isolation is like prison, but the sex isn't as good.
Depends how you do it.
Anyone for a rim shot? I think that does wish. There we go, like that.
True story.
Good. So, okay, right. Genuinely, my mum was walking past the screen then and just decided to cover her face, rather than. I'll tell you what I'll do.
In the show. Let's see your mum's face.
Absolutely not. I just enjoy the irony of trying not to draw attention to herself, so she covers her face with a giant book. So that's good.
What's she reading?
I have no idea. What you got there, mother? Nostradamus, you bougie.
Wow.
So and so.
What is Nostradamus? Who does Nostradamus say is going to win the election?
I'm not sure if that's in the book. That would be an incredible.
You just got to know how to decipher the quatrains. If your mum can decipher the quatrains, she can tell us if it's going to be Biden or Trump.
Well, how many people are going to be on Facebook watching the show?
I'll be honest with you. My mum heard that and she went, "Quantro? What is that?"
She hasn't started the book
yet.
So
I think that sums everything up. You need to know about that. Right. So I'm gonna do. So I mentioned about the trigger word already. Does everyone understand that? If you say Lockdown 2, this will happen.
Take a swig.
Now, normally this would be for everyone because it's my show and I can do what I want. But obviously, Michael isn't drinking, so that's fine. Feel free to take completely liberal abuse of that as well if you want to get us all in trouble. Because if some, just to point out, if any one person says any of the trigger words this evening, everyone has to drink. So, Michael, feel free to get us into serious trouble, but not too much.
Yeah. Alex
will probably flag you up on that. You're taking the piss a bit.
I can handle it.
So I've come up with a little game because of the US election this evening, and because it's basically I think that Biden is probably going to win. Have we been following much of this?
Yeah.
Aidan, you mentioned in the pre-chat that you've been sort of up all night watching it.
Yeah, I've only had 4 hours sleep because I stayed up, and I've basically been addicted to the 538 blog all day. Basically, I mean, it's one of those things where it's not impossible that Trump could win, but it's trending so heavily towards Biden in all the key states that it's looking safely like Biden's got it.
Yeah. So I'd actually forgot my opening joke for this, but I'll do it now anyway. I was going to make a House of Pain joke, but it doesn't matter. It seems like Trump around was going to Trump around. Was going to be it seems like the 4-year White House of Pain is over as Biden is seemingly going to be the next president. So for tonight, I figured one of the games would be we would all have all 3 of you would have a minute each to get as many Trump-based anecdotes, jokes, stories, puns, as hack as possible that you can to get it out of your system. And nobody, like starting from this show, we're going to set the trend now. Nobody is to ever talk of Donald Trump ever again, right? To the extent that what you do with petulant children when they're trying to get attention is you ignore them and eventually they will stop. So that's what the world needs to do with Donald Trump, right?
You said yes. I thought you said petrol and children. What you do with petrol and children? What you do with petulant children? Sorry,
you put petrol on the children.
Well, I mean that's a fun
threaten to light them unless they behave.
Yeah, that's a very different parenting technique. That isn't it?
Works.
Yeah, it works.
When I was a kid.
Speaking from experience growing up in Yorkshire, Aidan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My parents set me on fire. It didn't do me any harm, did it?
So I've come up with the game, which I've subsequently called Trump Around. Trump around. Trump. And I've ruined it because I didn't do the joke properly, but it doesn't matter. It's just a chat show. Who cares? I mean,
hey, the graphics there. It's all good.
Look at that. Trump up and get the. Well done, Alex. That's top work. I like that. I think Alex deserves a rim shot for himself there.
Well done.
Nice and quick on the button. Well done.
It's a different screen. It takes me a minute.
Right. So, wonderful, isn't it? Alex, actually, while you're there, do you have a countdown mechanism?
I've got a watch.
Oh, well, that works. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do that.
So
I'll keep time.
Who would like to go first? Who would like to go first in a game of Trump Around?
Yeah,
Michael would like to go first. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's see if we can get Michael
on the full screen.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Can you still hear us, Michael?
I look great. Yeah. I look fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so, Michael, your minute starts now.
All right. I said to Donald and Melania Trump, "Can you think of an original slogan?" They said, "Yes, we can." Thank you. People keep saying. It takes time, but it's worth it. People keep saying Melania Trump is the new Jackie Kennedy. I'm thinking, please, Donald, buy yourself a nice new open-air convertible car. You know you want to. What's the difference between Donald Trump and coronavirus? Coronavirus might go away.
Oh, 30 seconds left.
What's the difference between Donald Trump and a hysterectomy? A hysterectomy is not a complete pussy.
Oh,
I cleaned that one up. I cleaned that one up, believe me.
15 seconds.
There was a big earthquake and they sent Donald Trump. I thought, haven't you suffered enough already? That's it. Under a minute. Thank you.
Hey!
Well done, Michael Moncos, everyone.
Yes.
By the way, coincidentally, if any of the audience that are watching this evening have any Trump jokes that they'd like to share, please do comment on Facebook and YouTube. That would be great. Who's up second? Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I think I've misinterpreted what you wanted us to do, and I've just got one Trump anecdote, but hopefully it will last a minute.
Or do whatever it was that you interpreted you should have done and do that instead. It's fine.
Sure.
Do you still need the timer?
Yeah, we'll still play the game. You still got a minute.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It'll be under a minute, don't worry about that.
Starts now.
So, Trump, there was a book written about Trump by Bob Woodward called Fear in the White House, something like that. And there was this paragraph in which said, under orders from the president, his chief of staff drafted a notification letter withdrawing from NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. But he and other advisors worried that it would trigger an economic crisis. So Porter consulted Cohen and told him, I can stop this. I'll just take the paper off his desk. And the reason I love this story is because it shows us that Trump has what babies have. Trump doesn't have object permanence. If the object's not in front of him, he can't see it. Where's the North American Free Trade Agreement? There it is. Where's the North American Free Trade Agreement? There it is.
I like that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That was 58 seconds. So
Nailed it. Spot on. And last but not least, Greg Phillips. Let's smash this out of the park. Let's go. Let's do this.
Greg, your minute starts now.
Now, Trump declared himself the winner this morning, and the ballots haven't even been—they've not all been counted, right? That's like being 2 games into the football season, winning both games, and then going, "Yeah, you may as well just give us the title, mate. We've won it. Yeah, that's it. I've won it now." And as Aidan was saying there about him not being able to see the thing not being in front of him, therefore it doesn't exist. Can we all remember the thing about the stealth bombers? They bought a whole load of new stealth bombers, and he was convinced that even if you were stood next to it, you couldn't see it. It's worth a watch on YouTube because it's fucking hilarious.
10 seconds.
Hey, that's a top quote.
I'm done.
Hey,
Well done.
52 seconds. Nice.
So
Excellent.
basically, what you were saying there, Greg, about Donald Trump is that he's essentially Everton fans. Is what you've done there, isn't it? I mean, 2 games in, they were like, "Oh yeah, mate, we've won the fucking league," right? So
that's a quality accent as well.
Like I said, I've had a couple of beers. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. I like that. That was. Do you know what? I would like to. I'm just gonna bask in my own pride. That's the first. This is episode 4, and that's the first feature we've actually done on this. So, Trump around, Trump around, Trump.
That shows a lot of confidence on your part, Graham, because the podcast that I do, to mask my total lack of having any personality, I just fill it with all sorts of features and styles and stings and jams, just to kind of distract the listener from the fact that I'm not an entertaining host. So you've got a lot of confidence in yourself that you don't even have any features.
The problem is that I'm definitely not as self-aware as you. I've got a lot to learn of how much of a boring prick I am. But I'm joking. I don't even know you, mate. That sounded really harsh. Right. Anyway,
No, I didn't.
So, right.
Is there
So,
any comedian who has not done a podcast? I'd be interested to know. Yeah.
literally none ever. They've all done one.
Well, because no, seriously, I'm quite old. I'm like nearly 50 years old, and I remember when all this stuff exploded, like the internet. It was genuinely exciting, and now it's everybody. It's like 6 million podcasts every day. Do you know what I mean?
Well, in the middle of the Atlantic, you've got that trash island where all the plastic waste is collecting and building up into a big
Radio Caroline.
Yeah, the internet is now that, but for comedians' podcasts. There's just so many. It's just forming this like pod landfill, and I'm doing my bit. I'm contributing every week to this pod landfill.
I remember the first videos. It was like, oh my god, you can watch something twice. If you can't see it, you can record it. Oh my god, you know, I'm not joking because I'm that old. And my English teacher came in the room and he was like almost having an orgasm about this. And I was like, oh my god, you can watch it again and again.
Why did he have an orgasm? Was the video?
I was going to say is probably. I mean, if this was in English class, it's probably not a good idea for your teacher to be having orgasms, is it? That's.
Well, I meant it metaphorically. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I was a teenager. I was like 15-ish when it switched from the 56k dial-up to broadband. So I still have an appreciation for fast internet. Like I was sort of that generation that was downloading shit off Napster.
Oh yeah, and E-Mule. Remember E-Mule? That was really slow.
Yeah, and when I looked at
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Download JPEG over 20 minutes just to download.
Yeah, Winamp.
Yeah, if you tried to download a pirate film, you needed to leave your computer on for 2 days.
Yeah. I still do in Italy. Yeah. With 5,000 years. There's a time difference. We're 50 years behind, yeah.
Oh, there you go. But Italians do subsequently live 50 years longer. So
is that true?
Swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
You just made that up.
Is it well, not maybe no. Isn't it Sardinia? They've got they've got something like 70% of the world's centurions currently living.
I thought that was ancient Rome, centurions. No.
As in people over 100.
Oh right, I thought you meant the
military leaders from ancient times.
Legionnaires' disease. It's possible. Yeah, well, it's like Berlusconi. Berlusconi's never going to die.
Funny enough, I was gonna bring up Berlusconi. Like, I miss when politicians were fun. Like, like even Boris Johnson. Like, he used to be amusing. He was a bit of a stage character.
Well, Trump's
now
fun.
It's just
like Trump. He's not likable. Trump is funny.
He has the sort of humor because it's funny because here in Italy there was a guy called Beppe Grillo. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yes. Was he the 5-star guy?
No, he was at Cinque Stelle, good. And that was Google Translate there, sorry. And it's funny because Beppe Grillo was a stand-up comedian. That was his job. And he went into politics. And the hilarious thing is that every Italian said, I am not going to vote for Beppe Grillo because I do not want a clown running Italy.
Oh God, is he like the Italian version of Lempit Opic? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he tried to do stand-up? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah.
It was tragic.
Oh no, but he generally was a stand-up comedian, really. And that
there was a
was he
a Lib Dem? Lempit Opic, was he a Lib Dem?
Yeah,
Alex
he was. Yeah.
might know this. Oh, there you go. And he quit because he quit, as in lost his seat, and then decided to become a comedian, and it was genuinely terrible. I think he was dating one of the cheeky girls, or possibly both.
Yeah, he was dating the cheeky girl, but they split up.
All right.
I'll have to but no, the thing that always made me laugh about Berlusconi, right, is that he's sort of like, what are the 2 key things I need to be a politician? And he sort of went with, I want to be mafioso / porn star, and he thought, those are two those are the 2 qualities I need.
The funniest thing I've read about Berlusconi is because he's getting a bit old now, and he said Berlusconi, he said, all I want now is food, place to sleep, regular sex. And I thought, so why is he so desperate to stay out of prison? I can see a solution here, you know.
He had so many scandals, Berlusconi.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing would bring him down. And I remember reading an article that said in The Economist, and it said the reason that nothing could bring him down was because apparently in Italy they don't really have a strong tabloid culture like we do. So the newspapers that exist,
not so much. Yeah, but it's also because Berlusconi kept changing the law. That was the strange thing. The minute the law caught up with him, he would change it, and it would have to catch up with him again because it's very, very slow. The Italian system is extremely slow. It's like the legal system. You know, it can take literally years, decades. So it was always like one step ahead of the law. It was amazing.
It makes you wonder, like, what would Trump be like if he was competent? That's a scary thought.
Or in Italy.
All that's going to have to happen in 4 years' time, assuming Biden's won, is someone's going to have to look at what Trump did and go, if I say Mexicans are rapists, I can get elected. And they only have to be a little bit smarter than Trump to say maybe make it work for 8 years as opposed to 4.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, just to cut you, Greg. You're about to say something as well. What were you going to say? Yes, unless you...
Michael was on about with Berlusconi only wanting like good food and regular sex, and to be fair, that's all I want. So
I think that's all most men want, really. So.
That's all we all
and
want.
women.
Right? I mean,
yeah, it's just is the only politician that is when everyone tries to come across as an everyday man. Berlusconi pretty much no, apart from the weird like underage sex parties that I read about, but
Bunga bunga.
that's not normal.
Bunga,
we don't.
The only thing Berlusconi succeeded in doing is getting bunga bunga into the vocabulary.
Didn't he bring an album out as well? Or am I imagining that?
Oh, I think you imagined that, but yeah, I don't recall that.
That might
tell me there's an album. There's got to be.
That'd be quite cool,
we might.
actually. Well, when I see that, is it Macarena?
I might have to do some research on that for next week.
No, there was that horrible song, "Hey Macarena," and in the video,
from off of the 90s.
Their suits or dancing with little girls. I used to think of Berlusconi when I saw that. Yeah.
No, you're right. Berlusconi did release an album. It's called True Love.
Yeah.
Was it Bunga Bunga?
I thought it was right.
That's brilliant. I'm gonna Google that.
Could you share a link to that to the private chat, and then we'll post that in the comments at the end.
Oh, this is too good.
Everyone that is watching, we'll post a link to this on the Facebook and the YouTube comments at the end, so you can
on it already.
Brilliant.
What's that?
Love songs.
On it. Bring it on. I'll post it now.
Oh, amazing! There you go.
Well, I mean, he can do what he wants, so why not do an album? You know.
Maybe if Trump's voted out, maybe Trump will do an album.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ringo Starr did 15 albums, so if he can do it,
exactly. If Ringo Starr can do it.
I had an idea for years about writing a parody about Trump and Putin called "From Russia with Love." It was going to be about like there was various wordplays in there to do with election and erection, basic stuff like that.
You can send that to news.
Maybe that could.
They do.
Yeah, maybe that could actually happen. Yeah, that could be his next career step. Right, I'm gonna purposely drop myself in this here and go. This next question has been inspired by Lockdown 2.
Cheers.
Take a swig.
Now, I have a question for everyone. If you had to choose one, you have to choose one because it's my game and I do what I want. If you had to be locked down between either Boris Johnson, Matt Hancock, or Priti Patel, who would you choose?
Boris Johnson.
Oh, and why would probably be a good part. The next part of that question.
Well, I'm trying to work that. That was my gut feeling. Well, he's got more interesting stories to tell, hasn't he? You know, I mean, you think the position he's been in, he's been through a lot of scandals and things. It'd be interesting. It's not for the sex appeal and the nice hair.
I was going to say my worry is that he'd probably try and shag me quite quickly.
Yeah, but you could sell that to the tabloid to make a lot of money. So think positive.
True, I didn't think of it that way. That's a good point.
I'm a kind of glass half full person.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Aidan?
Priti Patel.
Okay, interesting. Well, I didn't think anyone would go for Priti Patel, to be honest, but
she's quite fit, isn't she?
Yeah, I suppose objectively, if you leave everything else out, she is. Yeah, fair enough.
That's literally all she's got. She's a horrific person, but I'm a superficial guy, so I'll take it.
I suppose that was probably an oversight on my part. Brilliant.
But this thing, it's like when I remember in about 2006, I saw an image of Sarah Palin before we all knew who she was. And I sent the Wikipedia article on Sarah Palin to my friend Jim and said, mate, check out how hot this governor is. Like, it really blew my mind. And then
And the thing is, can you imagine
yeah.
how annoyed she would be if you were masturbating over her and she found out?
No, she should be flattered. And
Not
anybody who gets masturbated.
No, it was because she had a real
masturbating,
thing
yeah,
about
flattered.
masturbating, didn't she? That was,
Yeah,
that
my
was the
sperm
joke.
is really liberal. It's really left wing, so she'd hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably a mistake on my part to include out of 3 options, like the only female.
No.
Obviously, statistically, we're probably all most of us going to go for the female one. It was probably an oversight on my part. Incidentally, I've just realised as well.
An absolute dreamboat.
He also looks a bit like Alex. If you might have noticed.
Whoa! What's this? Hang on. So this is the Matt Hancock thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So I'll just. Sorry to hog, but I will go solo layout so you can see this. I was quite worried that after shaving my beard off, I was starting to look like Matt Hancock.
And which one's you?
He's the one on the left.
In the blue. Oh no, I'm mistaken.
You've got the green sofa that you're sitting on there that you have in your lounge.
There you go. Amazing.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Greg. What about you? Bojo, Patel, Hancock, or Alex Lee? I think because they're the same person.
I think purely for comedic material, I think Bojo.
Okay.
Because I remember a speech he did when we were getting the 2012 Olympics about rubbing every brick with rhubarb and how that had helped the rhubarb growers of the country. And I was thinking, if you're going to spout gibberish like that all day, it's going to make me piss myself laughing. So, let's have Bojo around the house.
If you're locked down with Boris Johnson, he's going to do shit like, when it's his turn to do the big shop, he's going to be like, I'm going to do a world-class shop. You're never going to believe how good this shop is. And he's going to like...
That sounds more like Trump,
be
actually.
Like that guy from the Fast Show, when when she's like, did you get the shopping? And he's like, even better than that. And he's just got 6 random pieces of shit items. He doesn't deliver what he promises. He'll be an awful housemate. Whereas Priti Patel is an awful human being, but she gets awful things done.
What if, though, this is all actually just an act and Bojo is just a right dullard when you get him behind closed doors? Like he's just sat in his armchair doing like some Sudoku and then huffing every time you walk in the room.
Yeah.
Because
he's like a stand-up comedian. Some stand-up comedians are really extrovert on stage, but then they're sort of quite introverted and shy. He might be like that.
Is that every comedian ever? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. Cool. That was good. I'm just gonna pour myself another drink there. Also, I realised that fart, incidentally, I had a few seconds to think about this, almost to me sounds like a euphemism for rim shot, seeing as I got one for saying fart by mistake. Thank you. Good. Right, Trump, sod it.
Cheers.
Good. Yeah, cheers. Take a swig. I'll do it for you, Alex. It's fine. It's all right. No worries. It's okay.
Take a swig.
Bollocks!
I feel like you could have just turned your audio back on just to shout bollocks at us, but never mind. Here you go. This has been a lot of fun. So, Alex, has there been any Facebook comments, any questions, anything like that?
Well, I mean, a lot has been covered. I mean, from Berlusconi, the sex parties. Hello in the background behind Michael. Hello.
Speaking of sex parties.
That's excellent. That's nice. That's nice. That makes a change from Graham's dad.
Yeah.
That was my mum, actually, but
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there was one point of the head with the book.
Hello.
Hello.
Ciao. Hi.
Hello.
Italian.
Ciao.
Hi.
Ciao, Bella.
So,
Ciao, Bella. Ciao, Bella. Ciao, ciao.
all right, G, keep it in your pants.
Sorry.
Right.
So for 21 years in Italy, I can say ciao because I'm English. That's the extent of my knowledge.
Excellent. Hi. So, like I said, Quite all right. This I love the fact that both of us came in an opportune moment.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
She's very polite.
Very polite indeed. So the comments.
Mm-hmm.
The comments. We've covered a lot of ground. Election as well. So what comments have we had?
Election.
Oh, election. Shit.
Take a swig.
So I need to finish this beer anyway. So
what have the comments been about? Well, 2 comments from comedians about their podcasts. that is pretty much all that we've had. Considering all that we've talked about, all that we've covered, Benjamin Elliott, aka Benny Shakes. I've got a podcast. It's a shaky listen. That is a cerebral palsy joke, in case you don't know Benny Shakes.
Benny Shakes is ace. I love Benny a lot.
Benny is awesome. Mark Dean Quinn has also commented, I have not done any podcasts, but I am happy to live on the ocean trash island without adding to it. So Mark taking a sort of utopian view of the podcast wasteland.
I was hoping somebody might get involved with the old who would you rather live with during lockdown 2. I've done it again. I don't care.
Oh, which one was that? Take a swig or down it?
Take a swig. We haven't done it.
Take a swig.
That's a good point. We haven't done a down it one this week.
Normally we would have.
Oh yeah, well we could do that. Yeah, all right. So
election is the down it.
Down it. Down it. Down it. Down it.
Still no clear winner yet, Aidan. I've just checked.
I did. So, I won.
So you won. Oh yeah. Graham has claimed victory. So keep the comments coming in and don't be butthurt about your own podcasts. So yeah.
Did anyone see Jordan Brooks' show at Edinburgh last year?
Jordan who, sorry?
Jordan Brooks.
No, but I did hear a lot about it, actually.
Because in that show, I saw it twice, and both times in the show, he goes up to a guy on the front row and says, "What's the name of your podcast?" And both times the guy did have a podcast and they answered the question. There's so many. I mean, I thankfully actually did my second live gig in a month on Sunday. And I had an idea to do an audio recording of my set and everyone else's set, and a little pre-gig chat to do because I thought it'd be interesting to have some kind of audience insight into what comedians might talk about before the gig, like, backstage or whatever in the green room. So I set it up on Spotify, the Green Room podcast, all this sort of stuff, and then fucking forgot to record the gig. So, except for my set, of course, recorded mine. It was great, by the way, because I'm hilarious. But that was absolute misfire. What's that? I was going to say something about Italy. I forgot. Doesn't matter. So let's before we end, shall we? I'll go round. Who do we think? Never mind. Who do we think? Who do we want to win the US election? We'll go with
down it.
Jokes on you about a beer. Good.
I would like to see. I'd like to see Elizabeth Warren win it.
Well, she was the.
She's the old lady who was in the primaries. She's not going to win. She lost the primary to Biden.
There was actually was it an independent? There was an independent voter who'd actually got like 1.2% of the overall votes, which is like the highest like in years for a independent party, which is great because like the highest previously was like 0.9%. So which is just crazy. And then because I remember I watched it. Yeah, it's pretty much. I watched it earlier and it was like 50% Biden, 48.8% Trump, 1.1% independent, and then 0.3% others. And I was just like, Jesus.
Well, I mean, if you think our two-party system's bad, at least we have a strong third party, either whether it's the Lib Dems or whether it's the SNP. They just don't have it in America. It just doesn't exist.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Where on earth is Greg gone?
No idea. It wasn't me, Governor. Honest.
Disappeared.
Maybe his phone ran out
well,
of battery.
Did he? Maybe, yeah. It was he. Maybe you took the 35 minutes thing quite literally, because it is 35 minutes and 35 minutes now and 30 seconds, and he was just gone straight on the 35 minute
That's
mark.
efficient.
So,
That's very efficient.
yeah, and fair play to him there. Cool. So so you right. What about you, Michael? Who do you want to? Who do you think is going to win the election?
Oh, definitely Biden. Definitely, because he's not Trump. Simple as that.
The American presidential race, I meant to say.
It's the same thing.
It might be a bit. It might be a bit bittersweet because it looks like Biden's going to win, but it also looks like he's not going to win the Senate. So it'll kind of be like the last 4 years of the Obama presidency, where
of course,
give him power, but he can't do anything significant.
Do you know what? I'm just waiting for the next 18 months of legal battles between Trump's 60 lawyers who are, whilst also trying to battle against his subsequent bankruptcies.
Greg's back.
Yeah.
There we go. Hello. Sorry,
that's all right.
I pressed the wrong button. I clicked on the chat button because I saw the Berlusconi thing, and then instead of pressing the little cross in the corner, I pressed back, and it sort of kicks me out. Like, shit, I'm gone.
Amazing. So what I was just going to say, I'm just going to finish up on, was I don't even remember what the fuck was I saying.
You're talking about the election.
Who's going to win? Yeah.
Election
Race.
And then I mentioned this; they weren't going to win the Senate.
Yeah. And then, this is great viewing.
Improvise.
See, this is what happens when my local is giving me £1 a pint before the show. There we go. That was so. It was something about. Fuck. No, never mind. Fuck it. I've got brain damage. It's not my fault. Right. Next. Well, I mean that's pretty much it anyway. But just in time for Greg to come back in to leave again. So good. But yeah, we've actually. I'm proud of us because we've covered a lot in 37 minutes, which has gone actually really quickly. I'm quite surprised by that. I'm pretty pleased.
Been good fun.
Alex is back on.
Yes, a closing comment from Benny has come back in. He's answered who he would like to isolate with. He said, "I would love to isolate with Donald Trump because I would feel a bit more able-bodied." Nice, Benny. Very nice.
There we go. Yeah, great way to finish. And certainly, considerably more intelligent than Donald Trump too.
I think Benny's just won best joke of the show.
All right, Greg. I mean, there's no need to pander, is there? I'm disabled too, right? I mean, no, I'm joking.
All right, it's not a spaz race.
Well, no, because if it was a race, I'd win. But I'm sorry, Benny. Sorry about that. I should point out to Aidan and Michael, because you haven't met me. I'm what we call above the table able. The able. Yeah. Anyway. Right. Good. So. Right. We're closing up on 40 minutes. I need to think of a way to close this.
Here's a thought. So
yeah,
I was thinking about this with Trump. Trump has really amazing energy levels. He's not very intelligent, but he's very energetic, especially when he's doing his rallies.
COVID.
Like Hitler.
Yeah, he does these 2-hour shows, and he's just fucking raring to go. I'm as a comedian, if I do more than 10 minutes on stage, I start to feel tired, and I'm a young man. I sort of have a perverse admiration for Trump's weird energy levels, and he's obese as well, but he doesn't seem to stop it.
Drugs,
I think there's some kind of there must be some kind of feeding directly into his brain from his wig, some amphetamines or something.
Well, no, because the funny thing is that in Italy they have really long shows. You know, I remember when I first came to Italy, it was Sunday. I switched on the telly, trash TV. I went all the way around Rome. I came back 6 hours later, switched on the telly, same program, and they have this energy. And I'm convinced they're on drugs. You have to be. No, because absolutely true. For me, 5 minutes of open mic like knocks me out. Right, so I don't know how 2 hours. You know, I mean, it's getting easier now. When I first started doing it, it was amazing. So 2 hours in front of that number of people and that level of energy and charisma and passion. There's got to be some kind of drop an E before or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you know.
Spaghetti carbonari.
Yeah, or as they say in Italy, carbonara.
I was adding an E on the end because of the ecstasy. Yeah, never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Right. We'll leave it there if that's okay, guys. Thank you very much for hang around though, because you'll be in the thing afterwards.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for.
Just before we go, can I plug a couple of shows?
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Anything, go for it.
When you booked me to do this, I didn't realize that Alex was the producer. I've been a guest on his show before. Awkward Question Time. Absolutely love it. I'm back on again 15th, I think. But I tune in pretty much every week and absolutely love that show. Benny's show.
I didn't prompt in, but I love you.
Thank you. Benny's show.
Oh, Alex.
Benny Shapes' show is really good. And a good friend of mine, Stuart Dunlop, runs the alternative Cobra Meeting comedy quiz, which has now turned into the Feet and Ball Show, which is a football show for people not into football.
Like me, I don't like football.
Yeah,
I hate football. I like football's wives, but I hate football.
Oh, well, there you go.
Can I promote something?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Yeah, we'll finish up on the various plugs.
Yeah, I'm not going to be magnanimous like Greg and promote my friends. I'm just going to promote my shit, okay?
Absolutely.
So, basically, the name of my podcast is the Movie News Pedanza, and it's like a 20-minute a week film news, mashups of popular films. It's very silly and off the wall, and download it. It's on Spotify and all podcasting apps, and it's also on the Trash Island of the internet podcast land. So you can find it.
Oh, there was a callback in there. Top pro, top.
Not
Michael.
Yeah. Well, in that case, can I plug something as well? Then?
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, you can all stop asking you, so it's fine.
I'm going to do it anyway. You know, we've started an open mic comedy show in Rome. You're probably not in Rome. But we'd like you to like it on Facebook. It's called Farm Comedy Club because it's a funny. Farm. Yeah, because it's the first open mic English comedy show in Rome. Because in Rome there's very, very little open mic, so we started one. It's on hold because apparently there's some kind of virus going around. I don't know if you've heard of it. But as soon as that calms down, we'll be back on.
Yeah,
nice work. I did my first stand-up gig in 7 months the other day. Just before the big lockdown started, and I'm fairly sure it's going to be my last stand-up gig for another 7 months as well.
Oh yeah.
I in some kind of blind optimism, I've already got something booked in for the 5th of December on the basis this is supposed to be a month. But
good luck with that, mate.
See. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got one, but I'm doing one on the 3rd of December.
That is ambitious. That's like the day after.
I really hope these things happen, guys. I wouldn't bet.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's part of the reason why I started doing this, because pubs are shutting at 10. There's not a lot of gigs on, stuff like that. Right, cool. Thank you very much, guys. I'll leave it there. If you have enjoyed the show tonight, thank you for watching as well. Please donate to the show via the PayPal link, paypal.me/GWSComedy, or you can use the QR code, which is already set to £5, which normally would, at the very least, just cover the cost of my beers. But tonight, I'm feeling generous for tonight. So any donations will go towards the Poppy Appeal. So please feel free to donate and support that. Thank you very much to my guests, Greg Phillips, Aidan McCaffrey, and Michael Monkhouse. And thanks, of course, to our all-knowing, all-seeing producer that is Mr. Alex Leam. I think that might become
love you, Greg.
it might become an in-joke. For now, please like and follow and subscribe on the YouTube and Facebook, Graham Whistle Comedy. Keep an eye out for the hashtag Booooonnnnggg. That's it for now. Good night. God bless. Please drink sensibly for the love of God. Don't spill it. Goodbye. Goodbye.